Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate the leadership and support from the President, the Secretary of Defense, the Director of National Intelligence. I believe our mandate is clear.
The recent announcement that retired U.S. Army General Paul Nakasone, the longest-serving director of the National Security Agency from May 2018 to February 2024, had joined OpenAI's board of directors, coincided with the unceremonious delivery of a report to the White House about the Pentagon and Intelligence Community's concerns over how AI can be deployed, even inadvertently, to create new and lethal chemical, biological, and radiological materials and weapons. But what's this got to do with the former NSA director joining OpenAI's board of directors? Well, the answer may not be what you'd expect, and it's certainly not what's been discussed in the media and trade press. But before I get into it, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. With input from private AI labs, academia, think tanks, and third-party AI evaluators, the report handed off to the White House arrived at the stark conclusion that the potential for AI to be misused to enable the development and production of chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear weapons, or CBRN, is growing almost exponentially. Prepared by the Department of Homeland Security's Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office, the report warns that advances in accessible AI technologies create novel risks to the U.S. by giving bad actors the ability to think up and carry out heretofore unknown types of CBRN attacks. While the full report is classified, we know from the unclassified version that it says the increased use of AI tools could escalate the likelihood of both intentional and unintentional dangerous research that poses a risk to public health, economic security, and national security. AI has already affected the way research is conducted in the physical and life sciences, and will continue to do so in difficult-to-anticipate ways. And AI-enabled enhancements to research have the potential to allow bad actors to think up and then create unimaginable, deadly new pathogens and toxic chemical compounds, depending on the intent of the users and the quality of the data. And therefore, the U.S. intelligence community requires the ability to not only mitigate and guard against these potential threats, but to know about them in advance. And what might be one way the National Security Agency is doing that, since its job is to intercept electronic communications of all types? The report given to the White House identified trends in AI and the types of AI models that can accelerate the development of biological and chemical threats to the U.S. So, given that the NSA has the authority to conduct threat detection and intelligence collection, the NSA undoubtedly is already monitoring OpenAI's and all other accessible AI models to identify and analyze threats. Meaning, when it comes to publicly accessible AI, its users' prompts can be collected and analyzed. That's right, users' prompts. What better way to monitor possible nefarious use of accessible AI models? And it's not all that different than the reason Google searches are monitored against the IP addresses of known targets of interest. Inconceivable, you say? Hardly. Last September, while still NSA director, Nakasone revealed that U.S. intelligence and defense agencies have been using AI for some time in the analysis of threat vectors and red flag alerts. We've been doing it for a long time. It's something that we are familiar with, he said, adding, AI security is about protecting AI systems from learning, doing, and revealing the wrong thing. Nakasone further said that AI will be increasingly consequential for national security and diplomatic, technological, and economic matters for our country, our allies, and our partners. In March 2021, the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence released its final report, and it was unequivocal about the importance of integrating AI into every stage of the intelligence cycle, including collection. AI, the report says, will help intelligence professionals find needles in haystacks, connect the dots, and disrupt dangerous plots by discerning and discovering previously hidden or masked indications and warnings. The report further stated that AI-enabled systems will optimize the tasking and collection for surveillance platforms, sensors, and assets in near real time in response to dynamic intelligence requirements or changes in the threat environment. 5 months after the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence released its final report, the Inspectors General of the NSA and Department of Defense announced they were performing a joint evaluation to assess just how well the NSA has integrated AI into its intelligence collection activities. The report of the findings of that evaluation was issued a little over a year ago, but it is classified. In response, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a federal lawsuit against the NSA, Director of National Intelligence, and Department of Defense in an effort to get the report made public. On June 3rd, the Department of Justice, on behalf of the government, filed a motion to dismiss. The presiding federal judge, however, denied the government's motion, and on June 18th, ordered the government and the ACLU to appear before her for an initial pretrial conference, which is coming up on July 22nd. In the meantime, the House Emergency Management and Technology Subcommittee convened a hearing into emerging WMD threats, but not one member of the subcommittee raised the issue of AI, even though Mary Callahan, the Assistant Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security's Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office, had highlighted the seriousness of the threat in her prepared testimony, which subcommittee members were given in advance of the hearing. Folks, we're going to keep an eye on all this, so please be sure to subscribe. The notification bell is activated, like, and leave a comment. Until next time, my friends, stay well, safe, and frosty out there.